Give our listeners a quick walkthrough of your journey from all the schools that you've been at.
Yeah, well, just getting back to how it all started. I started out just volunteering in recreation.
Right.
Not knowing it would lead to me becoming a head basketball coach. But it was just being a parent, being a volunteer, just trying to volunteer for my kids, and just the local kids there. And then, I was asked to coach a 9 to 10-year-old team, and I actually enjoyed it. Didn't know that I wanted to kind of pursue it longer,
Right.
Further or whatever. So I just kind of did that, and I got asked to coach a 9 to 10-year-old team, and then, we did pretty good. I saw how the kids enjoyed it.
Right.
And I saw the growth from where they started. It didn't matter if they were basketball players or just kind of being a part of it. It's recreation. But I love to see how they progressed and how much fun they had.
Right.
Then they asked me to coach the All-Star team, which represented the area, and we went to the state to play in the state area tournaments. And then that's kind of when it started clicking, and I started thinking about, maybe I could be a coach. So I think that kind of fueled everything, kind of got the engines moving for me to kind of move on to high school. Well, after that, the principal at that local middle school, Chinkopin, I don't know if she had a son or something in that recreation, but she came to me and asked me, had I thought about coaching in the school system, and I worked third shift, man. I went to work at 11. So
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, man.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I worked in the manufacturing industry for 10 years.
Really?
So it was, my route to coaching wasn't just I got out of college.
Wasn't the normal.
No, man. It was just kind of like, I ain't trying to get all deep and stuff, but it was just, I think it was kind of like a God ordained thing.
Right.
Kind of the timing. His timing is always the right time.
100%.
And that's kind of how it worked, man. The middle school principal asked me, she told me that they needed a football coach.
Right.
And I didn't coach football.
Right.
So she asked me to coach football, and I said, well, I coach basketball. She said, well, if you coach football, you can coach basketball.
Right.
I was like, all right, because I really enjoyed and loved coaching basketball.
Right.
I was a decent player. I went to JUCO and played, and went to Division III and played.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, I wasn't a football coach.
Right.
But anything to coach basketball, I was willing to do.
Right.
So there was just a good defensive team. We didn't score much. We were 0-6. We lost a lot of games, whether it was 8-8, 16-8, 24-12. But
right.
We played some good defense.
Right.
So as long as they played some good defense, we good, man.
Right. Right.
So that kind of started me into the school system, and then I was able to be the middle school coach, and we actually did pretty well. Superintendent saw us play against his son. His son played at Charity Middle School.
Okay.
When it was open at the time. The superintendent saw us play against his son. We played well. We really wasn't talented. We just played hard. And after the game, he came up to me and asked me, had you thought about being a part of the school system?
Right.
This was like the second time an administrator had came and asked me. So it was just kind of like, maybe this is something I'm supposed to be doing. So that's kind of how it started towards there.
Gotcha.
So then, after that, we talked a little bit. I'm working, and I told him I was just a worker, man. I got to go to work third shift.
Right.
It was around 2009. I got let go from my job. And it's kind of like in those moments like that, it's when God really works the most whenever you're at your lowest. And that's kind of how it ended up going towards the school system.
Right.
I went back to school and started working on finishing up my bachelor's degree.
Okay.
And got a job in the school system, and
it's been coaching and everything.
I started going towards that direction.
Right.
After I finished my associate's degree, my cousin was working at Southern Durham at the time as an internship assistant principal.
Okay.
And she told me they was looking for a coach. She introduced me to their athletic director, Pete Schenkel. Rest in peace, Pete Schenkel. He was a good man, man. He He was the baseball coach, legendary baseball coach in Durham.
Okay.
And he was the interim athletic director at the time. And he interviewed me. And after the first 2 minutes, he got up and walked out. And he came back in and he asked me, if God came down and asked you what job you wanted, what would you say? I said, no doubt I'd be the head men's basketball coach at Southern Durham.
Right.
And they was looking for a girls coach at the time, so that's why they put me as the girls coach. So my first high school coaching job was girls.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Girls, man. And it was probably one of the best coaching jobs I've had when I look back on it.
Right.
Because those girls have been losing. The year prior to, they had won 8 games. And I finally got a chance to meet them and stuff like that, and we went 22-4.
Right.
Middle of the season, they started asking me, did I want to be the boys coach? Because the boys program was in kind of like a low state at the moment. Southern Durham typically is good.
Right.
You got Julian Gamble, Marcus Wells.
Right.
Ivan Jenkins, David Noel.
David Jordan, one of my best friends David Jordan played there. He played with Marcus Wells.
Oh,
You didn't coach Marcus Wells?
No,
Okay.
he was prior to me.
Okay, I got you.
Cedric, like it was a lot of good players that came through Southern Durham that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
But once I got there, I knew that it was a little different. Obviously it was in the inner city, but I knew it was a little bit different. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna have to get on my horse, really.
Right.
So when they asked me to be the boys coach, they weren't really looking for wins.
Right.
Because Southern wasn't known during that time as a really good place to go. They didn't want to people really didn't like sending their kids there.
Yeah.
A lot of fights.
Because of the stigma.
A lot of fights, a lot of gang activity, and, stuff like that. So a lot of your athletes that was playing basketball, we had some there, but they really weren't coming to just, really get after it. They was just kind of coming there.
Yeah.
So I was just, when I saw them play and I saw how they acted, and it was gonna be a job, really.
Right.
So when the principal came and asked me, I just kind of thought about it. I called my wife and I told her it's what I wanted. It's what I asked God for. So,
Right.
I mean,
that's a blessing, man.
it was.
And how everything transpired,
It
for
was
sure.
at the time, So that's kind of how I ended up getting to Southern.
Okay.
Once I got to Southern, we didn't really have like a lot of good basketball players at the time because, like I said, we didn't have those players like that. I started going around to the middle schools and started telling people about, trying to start getting players that I know wanted to play.
Yeah.
Because, you got Southern Hillside.
Yeah.
When you're in Durham,
Hillside.
you want to come to the Southern Hillside basketball game.
100%.
That's one of the first things the students told me when I got to the school. Coach, we can lose all our games, but we got to beat Hillside.
Right.
When I found out and I, was involved with a Southern Hillside girls basketball game.
Right.
And I saw like the intensity of the
rivalry.
city and the rivalry, and it was just kind of like, I liked it.
Right.
And I said, I want to be a dominant team in this.
Right.
Obviously the girls were good, but then when I got the boys, we had to kind of like really shape it into being something that people respected. And,
Right.
I started going to the middle schools, the recreation centers. I didn't care where I went. I was just kind of trying to find people that wanted to play.
Right.
And we just kind of like started from there. And
Right.
we started having some success and people started wanting to come to Southern, and I would go out and start business, families and kids, and, that's how it worked, man.
You had to do what you had to do.
Hey, we just had to do what we had to do. And, it just ended up going in a direction, and I became a better coach. It challenged me in a lot of ways. Took a lot from the family, but that's how it went.